Number 10, Satchel Paige. He pitched for the St. Louis Browns for 3 years. He threw nothing but fastballs, nothing. Fans flocked to see him pitch. He would often tell his infielders to sit down behind him because he would strike out the side. He had the famous hesitation pitch where he would almost stop his delivery. DiMaggio said he was the best he ever saw. Satchel started pitching professionally in 1926 and stopped in 1965 at age 59. Number 9, Dizzy D. A baseball pitcher who made the cover of Time magazine. The last National Leaguer to win 30 games in a season, coined the phrase, "If you can do it, you ain't bragging." And as a broadcaster, Dean was Terry Bradshaw, a Southern draw who butchered the English language, but people loved him and he did games for a quarter of a century. When an English teacher told him to quit using the word ain't on the air, he said a lot of people who ain't saying ain't eating. So teach, you learn 'em English, and I'll learn 'em baseball. Number 8, Rick Majerus, one of the greatest basketball minds of all time, who was also one of the best characters. Majerus lived at the Chase Park Plaza, and legend has it, he went to a movie once in his bathrobe. He drew up plays on the shower door or on a napkin at a restaurant. After the gym, the restaurant was his favorite place. He would order for everybody, and lunches would last for hours. After going to Ted Drew's for the first time, and he was in a car driving back to SLU, he told his driver, "Can you turn around? I want seconds." Number 7, Charlie Spoonauer, one of the great coaches in SLU history, who was actually as entertaining as he was brilliant. Born in Kansas, Spoon paid his dues for 21 years before becoming a Division I head coach. And then he made sure he enjoyed every day of it. The mock turtlenecks were not just a fashion choice, but showed his casual approach to life. The mayor of the Central West End enjoyed a drink or two after every game. After Jack Buck, Spoon was maybe the second best after-dinner speaker in our town. Number 6, Conrad Dobler. How many offensive guards have ever donned the cover of Sports Illustrated? Pro football's dirtiest player was a 3-time Pro Bowler who did everything he could to protect his quarterback, Jimmy Hart. We're talking leg whipping, stomping, spitting, and biting. The villain role is often not an envious one to some, but Dobler embraced it, embellished it, and excelled at it. He always had that Burt Reynolds devilish grin to him. Number 5, Mike Shannon. He made his debut with the Cardinals in 1962, and 58 years later, he's even more famous. One of our town's greatest high school athletes is also one of our most colorful characters. Early in his career, Jack Buck at a spring training game asked him to get the umpires before a game. He meant the names on a piece of paper. Mike brought the 4 umpires to the booth. The phrases, "Get up, baby, get up," "A cold, frosty one," and "Big boy." He's a treasure and a character. Number 4, Bob Plager, the only person who's been with the Blues every day since their inception. In 1972, the night all hell broke loose in Philadelphia, Plager went into the stands to go after hostile Flyer fans. He hid in the restroom to avoid being arrested after the game. The sideburns, the hip checks, the fights, and all that fun after games. Bobby Plager was an original Blue and an original character. Number 3, Joaquin Andujar. The Cardinal right-hander was a good one, winning 20 games in back-to-back seasons. But he's remembered more for his quotes like, "There are only 2 power hitters on this team, me and Jack Clark." Or you can sum up the game of baseball in one word: you never know. And who can ever forget Andujar's meltdown in getting thrown out of Game 7 of the '85 World Series? Number 2, Bill Beck. The former owner of the St. Louis Browns was the sport's greatest promoter. He would cut holes in his wooden leg and use them as ashtrays. He hired a clown to be a coach with the Indians to entertain the crowd. He brought in 3'7" Eddie Goodell to be a pinch hitter. And of course, there was that infamous night in Chicago called Disco Demolition Night, which resulted in a riot. Yeah, Bill Beck was a character. And number 1, Marvin Barnes. The Spirits of St. Louis star player was the ABA Rookie of the Year. He would drive around St. Louis often in his Rolls Royce, and he once actually offered a chauffeur's job to a young broadcaster named Bob Costas. When he missed a team flight once to Norfolk, Virginia, He chartered a plane. He showed up on the court in a mink coat with his uniform on underneath and a woman on each arm with a bag of McDonald's. He opened up the mink coat and said, "Game time is on time." Then he scored 43 points and collected 19 rebounds. Marvin Barnes, an original sports character.